My role as lead animator is to make sure that all of the animation in the game is following the same vision, and the quality of it is up to where we want as a studio. Here we've got Optimus Prime, and he's going into his vehicle form, and transforming in our game is really a big challenge for animators. I would probably say it's the single biggest challenge for us. We're not just dealing with one robot or one mesh, if you would. We're actually doing a sleight of hand kind of magician's trick where we sub in a vehicle for the robot and a robot for the vehicle when we go from one form to the other. And the animation challenge is how do we get these pieces visually to correspond to the robot pieces, and how do we make that flow in a way to where it's a seamless transition. And so it takes quite some time for us to get to this point in a blocking stage and getting the idea of how we want his character to appear during a transform. For Optimus Prime, which I worked on, I wanted to give him a sense of strength. His transform has been completely redone from the first game, modified, like I said, so that he can seem more powerful. I decided to go to a ground pound. I was thinking more of like if you would say a gorilla would go, and I know he was a gorilla in some of the Beast Wars things. I just thought it was very forceful, very powerful move for him to make. I can scrub through. So at the beginning, which when you are playing the game, you might not see all this stuff because it happens so quickly. He just forces his fists right into the ground, and then we've got our swap right there. So where we end up right here, there is no robot. The transform times going into vehicle are about 66 frames. So that's just over 2 seconds. And going back into robot, there are 38 frames, which is about a second and a half. We definitely want to be able to go into robot and start shooting right away. The transition time going into vehicle, like I said, you can steer this guy and still have pieces resolving, whereas on the robot side, it'd be a lot more difficult to do that. I mean, what it comes down to is responsiveness for gameplay. Animators are always going to want more time. If I had more time, I can make this look good, or I can make this look even more fantastic. And we wrestle with gameplay a lot until we find a happy medium. As close to, I would say, about 20 frames into the transform to robot, we've got to be able to shoot. And so what I try to urge my animators to do is make sure that we have this gun arm into a shootable position, because you can pull that trigger as a player and start shooting, and if your arm is up here, you're going to shoot the sky. As much as possible, we'd like to get that arm in an aimed position. The idea behind Optimus was just so that he feels like he's always in command and in control of what's going on.